Okay, everybody, one last pass. So this is the last 3 videos that will take care of the last third of every single part of this review. Let's do it. Okay, so starting back at the very top. So which angle pairs above, if any, are congruent or supplementary, provided in a brief explanation to justify your choice. Well, you're going to be tempted, maybe not. Somebody somewhere is going to be tempted to say that same side interior angles are supplementary, or alternate interior angles are congruent, or alternate exterior angles are congruent, corresponding angles are congruent. Okay? But the truth of the matter is that in this particular case, they are not. This is because of condition. And so if same side interior angles are supplementary, that means your lines have to be parallel. If alternate exterior angles are congruent, that means they have to be parallel. But since we don't know that they're parallel, we really can't say anything, with the exception of one answer. So angle 3 and angle 2 are congruent, okay, and that's because they are vertical. Okay? Now the reason we can say it about these and not anything else is because vertical angles do not require parallel lines to be congruent. Vertical angles must simply just exist. So this is part of the vertical angle theorem, that if you have vertical angles, then they are congruent. Ooh, not congruent, it's because they're vertical, Collins, come on. Okay. So unlike the 2 lines cut by a transversal that need the condition of the lines being parallel, vertical angles are simply because they are. We didn't have any linear pairs, but linear pairs work the same way. If you have linear pairs, then you have supplementarism just because they form a line. And so as the geometric ideas get more complex, we're going to see this idea kind of repeated, where like you're going to have to meet an initial condition in order for a relationship to be true. In direct application of that, whoa. Okay. Let's move on to page 2. Okay. And so the whole point of page 2 was once we made the lines parallel, then we could actually do some solving with them. Okay. And so this is just example number 3. So when we establish that we have the parallel lines, and we establish that they are cut by a transversal, knowing these lines are same side interior now gives us a little bit more to work with. Remember, same side interior angles by definition are supplementary, which means we can write an equation where 2 things or more things add to 180 degrees. In this particular case, the 2 things are the angles themselves. So x plus 10 for angle 1, and then we'll set 5x plus 20 for angle 2. Okay, once we're in the algebra solving steps, it's just now about getting to the x value. 5x and x make 6x, 20 and 10 make 30, and that's equal to 180 degrees. If we subtract off the 30, okay, we're left with 6x's being the same as 150. And so we take 150 divided by 6, and we get 25. Doing our due diligence means checking our angle values. These are supplementary, not congruent, and so we don't expect them to actually to have the same value, but we do expect them to add to 180 degrees. So I got 35 for this angle. 5 times our x value of 25 plus an additional 20 for the second angle gives us 145. Okay, 145 and 35 make our 180. We know we're correct. Guys, it's just as easy as that. Okay, last one in this set, the little more complex set. We want to solve for x, but we're given like this picture. But like our thought process by now should pretty much be the same. We have 2 parallel lines. They're cut by a transversal. So angles in this position have to have a certain relationship. Like has been the case for the entire side, since they're trapped on the inside of the shape, these are going to be same side interior. They're going to be supplementary, so we know that 35x plus 57.5 plus our other angle, 60x, minus 115 is going to equal 180 degrees. Let's solve some algebra. So 35x, 60x's, that's going to make 95x's. Okay, so if I take 57.5, and subtract off 115, I get negative 57.5. Okay, so let's get it by itself, shall we? Okay, so we're going to add 57.5. So 180 plus 57.5. That will leave our x value, or excuse me, 95x value, to be equal to 237.5. Let's subtract off 95s, or I'm sorry, divide off 95s. And so our x value is going to equal 2.5. Okay, so let's double check in our angles. I'm feeling confident personally, but we should still check. 35 times 2.5 plus 57.5 gives us a 145 degree angle here. 60 times 2.5 minus 115 gives us 35 here. They're going to be supplementary because when added together, they'll definitely equal 180 degrees. Okay, so that will end this part. We're going to jump back and talk about if the lines are going to be parallel and maybe some angle relationships. See you in a minute.